Hello Galactic family. Dear ones, you ask me what would be this completely new name, and are trying to find explanations to this word, but all connected to your mind. The agglutination, as we bring here, but is the first among the 5 new layers which must overcome one more than understand how chakra, but this time, something that is linked not to your physical body, but in your auric field. Your auric field has connection layers with higher self, and the first connection is the agglutination. This point, or vortex, is called this way because it is the one that unites the 7th chakra, the crown, the first more subtle level of your consciousness. And so, the first step to work to transcend the materiality of the physical body, it is precisely to establish this connection. It is the one that will open the door to the new. You ask me then, from now they could be considered already surpassed all other aspects that unite the power grid, which are connected to the 7 deadly sins and the 7 main chakras. But the answer, children, is not yet established the complete disconnection of these learnings. As already brought in other plumbing, their experience in the field will always be accompanied by a number of opportunities to work on these aspects to the physical body, until the time of its disembodiment. Regardless of the state that it has reached rise. This first step where we started working a new aspect of his being, is where will all the others have worked, so we saw again a short summary of all 7 already overcome, but which will now be taken to a different state of understanding. They all will be raised to the new level of experience where work agglutination. This experience will bring the complete disconnection in physical senses to what are now working to the 7 chakras. They no longer feel more impulses of matter that comes feeling. The cleaning is complete. We join all of them to the assemblage to be worked in a different dimension of understanding. Still part of you, but will be enlightened and elevated to his chakra that is already disconnected from the physical body, but still connected to its power cord where they're all their experiences, that is your DNA. So part of you still, but not the physical, that it is only their experience in the field. With this work, we will develop agglutination to raise all other aspects, so that it will observe all the reactions linked to the 7 chakras as natural human being, but already with a feeling that is no longer part of you. This is only the beginning of this new work, but is a very important step, because it is that disconnects you from the physical sensations, impulsivities, which will not be taken more with the energy wave that carries so many consciences every day on this planet. Will be perceived as a being of light, as part of the whole, but not as a puppet of these energies that roam the planet and which are created by the thought forms of humanity. Will add in your auric field a new energy, but it should always be practiced with an open heart and love. Raising every aspect of this level of consciousness. Dear, observing the external behavior linked to the 7 chakras in isolation and understand how they work, to choose the not engage, and look lovingly all as experiences, are already disconnecting these energies. You have already done that, put into practice daily. These moments are just as they are already working agglutination. The agglutination is nothing more than the union of all other aspects 7 inches a sense only, that perception that everything is only an experience, and that this point of view, all other aspects are completely equal. No longer identify more any of them, they start to observe only as aspects that are part of life in matter, but that together form an energy ball that vibrates more or less certain points depending on the energy of the person who carries or the environment. This view of the whole, do you realize that no longer identifies more with these feelings, with these behaviors? Already is on and working agglutination. This is only the first stage, is important because it carries all the baggage, and therefore should never be put into oblivion. It is a chakra that should be worked, always practicing this view of how everything works. Training that look that all other aspects 7 are one and represent something already outgrown, that is the experience in the field. In each sign they observe in their connection minds with any of the first 7 chakras, as we have learned in the published material, which are related to specific behaviors. They should bring the connection agglutination and watch as a whole and not each behavior in isolation. When observe and identify a thought related to 7 inches isolation, simply attach it to the assemblage ball, and remember what he is. He actually only represents one of the behavior of matter, which is not different from the others and part of all this incarnational experience already surpassed and unified in agglutination. Bring this thought to your mind. Always work this mentalizing. This first step is to practice where you can observe various experiences happen and where we'll be trained to put everything in this light, the unifying sphere of 7 aspects, that agglutination. Understand, my beloved children? For the living environment is supplanted day-to-day experience, the experience. But as if pseudolysm, something is leaving the smooth of the own development. You embody the blessings of love their lives and thus coalesce experiences. The energy points in their bodies were separated by thin bodies, each connected to one aspect of the experience. But these energy bodies were seen as if each one is distinct. They actually were. For you not connecting them to love, speech, food, sex, joy itself were disconnected activities of love, destroyed the connection to your heart chakra. You do not unify their bodies and energy points, the loving energy of the heart, for he remained inert, closed, repressed soul purpose. These energy points destroyed the connection to the loving center, led to aggressiveness, sensuality, the overeating, the spiritual disconnection, because it was unbalanced bodies. But as you unify these points of light and their bodies, the loving energy of the heart, and open to feel the soul purpose, you coalesce the experience in this field to a unique feeling, love. It is through the heart love that agglutination occurs, is then you outweigh the vices of matter. In this state pride becomes the wisdom and humility, technicality in question through knowledge, the struggle for peace, anger flow and lightness, and so on. Through contact with the heart, the emotions and feelings, you connect the experience to heart, to call God saved in their hearts, and then the experiences gradually unify in complete understanding. Speech and devoid of revanchism and is filled by the acceptance, the power will become more balanced, and so the vices of matter are being integrated and illuminated by the love of the heart. Life becomes lighter in this state. The assemblage is the first step to the cosmic consciousness, because through love will raise the experience. They will be the same experiences, but now on the focus of mildness, authenticity, inner truth. The fight is lighter and the heart becomes more receptive to external events. The assemblage is the unification of energy points to love, to the heart. For this sit, breathe calmly. If you can put a soft music in a peaceful environment, go breathing and quieting. Now center all your attention on your heart. It is expanding, about to radiate your stomach and your larynx. Breathe again and stay in this state of love, radiating the solar plexus and the throat. You are softer. This expansion continues, now reaching the brow chakra on the forehead in the sacrum point below the stomach. This expansion reached the crown chakra at the center of your head in the base. Stay for a few minutes in this state of irradiation. All their bodies are irradiators by the flame of love, peace. It's a great light that enters your heart to engage their subtle bodies. We are now all involved in this energy of the heart and unifies your vibration. Feel the relief that this assemblage brings. You united their energies and may remain so for as long as necessary. and as the experiences you will come this radiation. Whenever you feel an inner misfit, look to settle down and radiate with the very light of his heart. At the end unifies your heart to a light point at a foot of your crown, your scalp. You are joining your heart to your light body, leaving with your higher self. Irradiate all their bodies with love. You allow the unification of his heart to his cosmic consciousness, and experiences in the field become softer. They still exist. There are, even now you see them in a transcendent light, irradiated by love. They no longer drag you, you fills them with love. Unify your heart to that light in your head and let it purify your heart from all hurt, all guilt, resentment. All these lower feelings are being delivered to your higher self for him to purify, so there is the transmutation of all relief. Hand and let the tears come and the purification of the sign, detachment, cleaning. And say, I allow the transmutation of all my fears, and give you open my heart more hard feelings, darker, so they are filled with love. We are Kuan Yin and Rowena and bless you in this moment.